Travis Wayne Goodsell. We come to another day, another end to another day, end of another day, end of another week, first week of another new month. The Miranda rights are for a defendant's protection. It lets them know that anything they say can and will be used against them in a court of law. And that applies to civil as well as criminal. And if you noticed, I've mentioned that before, as the church, specifically the CEO, and other co-conspirators involved in the lawsuit that I have, think that they're immune from getting the church in trouble, and actually are hurting the church as a result of this. The church is getting their butts kicked. I'll just give you a heads up right now. If you thought Gaddy versus COP was the great ex-Mormon hope, think again. She's getting her butt kicked. She's had to censor her information on Pacer Monitor, or whatever it's called. So you can't see the origins where Judge First was involved, as she was involved in my case. I've already submitted it to the court, so it's already in the public record that she's there and was involved. But yeah, anything the defendant and any and all co-conspirators say and do will be used against them in a court of law. So the judges of the Federal District Court of Utah, in terminating Judge First because of that, she was I forgot the word that's used, but she was recused, or she was told to leave the Gaddy versus COP case. And despite this, she was then assigned to my case. And so yes, anything they say that affects my case, and in this case was used against them. And the eviction notice from my landlord, she was notified back on Friday the 13th when she first tried it, that she is listed as a co-conspirator in my lawsuit. She needs to consult with the lawyers before she does anything. And so, did she listen? Nope. She tried it again. And this time, got an official eviction, but she's not going through the courts. And so, again, she's in trouble. You can't do this kind of thing. There's an intimidation law, or an anti-intimidation law, a law that against intimidating anybody involved in a court case. And clearly an eviction to the plaintiff from the defendant and the party of the defendant constitutes as intimidation. That's why I filed the lawsuit, is because I knew it was coming. I saw it building. I saw the pattern of behavior, and I knew that when they got rid of my second ex now, that they were going to come after me. That's why I got married. It was for protection. And when I saw that they were tearing her away from me, I knew I needed to file. I was hoping that Trump would destroy America first. He's dragging it on. But they're doing a pretty speed-up job now, aren't they? But nonetheless, others have stepped in, interfering in this case. So, such as YouTube, such as Governor Gary Herbert and his office, which includes the new gubernatorial candidate for the Republican Party, Spencer Cox. Everybody's involved if it affects this case. And when you're dealing with the church, they own Utah. It affects everything here. Everything everybody does, everything everybody says is used against the church, as they themselves get added in the indictments as co-conspirators. My case has been proven. I've won. It was also in default by the defense counsel for showing up late and filing late, and then messing up the filing when they filed late, so that it became further late. And so the church lost. It's over. I just got to figure out if there's something I need to do to get Judge Waddups to say, okay, that's it. That's what I needed to see from you. I found something in the civil procedures, and I'm going to work on it over the weekend, and thus have it submitted by Monday morning. And of course, as usual, I will do a reading of it. It's public record, and so doing a reading of it is part of the public record. And because I'm not the defendant, Miranda rights don't apply to me. Anything I say or do does not get used against me. That's the fun part. And so what I'm doing is merely sharing with you my investigation during this whole process. So the inverted pentagram, the real church history, that's all part and parcel of letting you in on the case with the investigation. Because the church had attempted to prevent this from going to trial. They don't want it to go to trial. They're desperate to keep it from going to trial. Thus, the intimidation and death threats I've been receiving. Because whereas with Gaddy, Kay Birmingham, they're not really concerned about her. They got better lawyers than they gave to me. They fell for the oldest trick in the book that I was using as a little grade school kid back in Placentia. I did the video previous to this. I guess it was 5 hours ago, but another thing from my childhood is that we used to play the hand wars, where you try to cause the other person to say uncle before you have to say uncle. And there were a couple of techniques that I developed to help me win. One of which was to do flexing of my fingers so that I can have them bend back pretty far. And then the other one was a psychological trip. Okay. Got to pay close attention here because I got to take care of a program in about a minute. And so what I would do was because my right hand would be on their left hand, their right hand on my left hand. The majority of the people, the kids, were right-handed. And so they went in thinking, oh, I'm going to crush them as soon as I can with my right hand. And so I let them think that that's what they were doing because I had been practicing flexing my left. And as they would focus all their energy on their right hand, they would loosen up their grip on the left, and that's when I knew time to strike. Boom, got them instantly. Uncle! Easy, quick victory. And that's a technique I used here in the courts. I'm a pro se litigant. I don't have lawyers. It's all me. I have no money. It's in forma pauperis. And so the church fell for it. They used their right hand of legal force to try to crush my weakness of my left hand. And they fell for it. And they made a number of blunders as their left hand showed weakness, and I came in and crushed them. And it's over. They've cried uncle. Alright. So, they fell for the oldest kid's trick in the book. And so when I finished the motion over the weekend, assuming, of course, that Judge Waddups hasn't already made a final decision already. With the church submitting an online notification from the Quorum of the 12, which, yes, will be used against them in this weekend motion, they should have known better. They're listed too. So we'll have to see what happens here, but it would seem that maybe Judge Waddups hasn't done anything, and so maybe I still need to figure out the secret code. Or maybe the filing from the other day was so much that he's got to go through it all. But the judge in the eviction was notified yesterday morning about the illegality of this fraudulent diversion, intimidation, and I have not had a response back from her. So, again, it will be used against them, and it was used against them, as I had pointed that out to the judge, along with some other crucial documents pertaining to the case, as I'm able to slip these in as if we were going through a trial. And that's what the motion will involve. So, like I said, I'll go over it when I finish it. So, yeah. Have a good night. Sleep tight, because the church is about to go bye-bye. It's just a matter of when. They've already lost. It's over. The default alone. I can't believe they didn't file on time. That's all they had to do was file on time. But nope, they didn't even do their part according to the law. So, yet Oberg. Ugh. So, yeah. Thanks, Quorum of the 12. Thank you very much. Your participation as co-conspirators is greatly appreciated and will be used against you as the defendant. They're on the board. I put that in. They know this. It was from the complaint. I set it all up. But I don't know, because there's another document that leaked the morning when I filed one of the other documents back on Tuesday. And so, yep, I'll go over it in the motion. So there's your teaser.